Papers, please, in a review. Papers, Please is a highly successful indie-developed game created by Lucas Pope on the 8th of August 2013. The game is based around the fictional country Arstotzka in 1982. This country has strict laws on entering, as you will come to find. You, the inspector, work at the Grecian border checkpoint. Your job is to check people's passports and other credentials to see if they are allowed to enter. I know this already sounds like it's just a job in a game. Well, it is, sort of. The game has a massive amount of features added into it to make it interesting. Papers, Please runs in days, and with each day your job gets more difficult as more details to check are added. If you let someone in that you're not supposed to, you will be given a warning. Get 3 and your money will start getting deducted from your pay, which can be disastrous. Lucas Pope has included the element of family. Not only do you have to worry about not letting terrorists into the country, you have to make sure your family doesn't die, which is game over. Your family consists of your mother-in-law, uncle, wife, and son. Often you'll be deciding which one to give medicine for, if you should get heat for the day, or food for the family because you are low on cash, which is often. The decision for which family members should live isn't the only tough one. This game is full of them. For example, a woman enters through, legally, and leaves you a note. It states that the man will come through and will eventually find her and make her a prostitute. Later in the day he comes through and you see he has the right credentials. It is your job to let people in that are allowed to be in. You can easily deny him, but that will end up in a strike and leave you with $5 less, which is important for maintaining your family's health. As the game progresses, it becomes harder and more detailed with what you have to check. On day 1, it introduces you to stamps, your best friends. With the stamps you can either allow or deny people's passports. You are also shown the speaker to call for people, the rulebook, and maps to check places in each country. The second day adds inspection mode, where you can detect discrepancies for errors in people's credentials. Foreigners are also allowed in if they have valid passports. The third day, foreigners require an entry ticket. On the fourth day, foreigners require an entry permit instead of a ticket. Arctosians require an ID card. And when someone says they have changed their name recently, you can fingerprint them. Day 6, workers require a work pass. As you can see, this gets complicated. Eventually, you can detain people, scan them for weapons or drugs, and rent becomes increased. The bills, not only for rent, start to rise, and it becomes ever more harder to keep your family healthy, and more importantly, alive. If you end up having some extra cash, you can also upgrade your booth, but I recommend you save. Papers, Please eventually develops a storyline. I won't spoil anything because this happens reasonably early. Someone gives you a card with a bunch of random letters on it. They're a part of a secret organization that you haven't heard of. Later, someone gives you a card with a bunch of holes cut out of it. You can use this to decrypt the letter. There are 20 endings in total. They go from being sent to jail and/or dying, or joining a massive organization against the government. The game can be difficult, but it's fun, while being brain-draining at the same time. Some tips for getting through the day. Always check every little detail, because often, when you think it can't be that, it is. And those are the ones that matter. Try to check as fast and thoroughly as possible. If you're left with less money than you need for one day, it will affect the days following, and when you start, set up your desk in the most effective way. Just remember, you will never have enough money for heat. So in conclusion, Papers, Please is a great little indie game that you can just pick up and play. It doesn't take long to learn, but it takes a long time to master.